Hey guys, this is Elliot Wave Sage. Let's do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. All right, so the market started pulling back today. Uh, the way I look at this, right now, we're in this first wave four. That's how I would chart it. And again, I can't emphasize enough that this could be another 1-2 and we continue to extend higher. So I'm just showing you the most probable path, but I can't guarantee this is the path. It should just continue to be supported. And the Dow Jones is in the same look here, and here is the Nasdaq. Again, should be continue to be supported. The Russell could be turning over in wave two. If this happens, this should pull down your small caps. This would probably get your final capitulation. You would think in the AMC GME trade if the Russell could pull back down late. But once this wave two is set, we have a big move higher coming. We'll have this inverse head and shoulders should be finished here, and then that should see a lot of upside in the small caps. That's the idea, at least. If we can get it, if we can get this set up, and this would be a nice entry potentially to try to play the small caps again, the ones that have been running. When the Russell, then you have the indice. The Russell is going to be on your side with that trade and not a headwind. Now, of course, this could be a different count. We could still be in a 1-2, 1-2, and we just explode out of here tomorrow. But this is not the likely path. This is the most likely path. Then Bitcoin is pulling back. It looks like it pulled back in this wave four, and we should just continue to grind higher all the way to 80,000 is kind of the idea. Link really took off after towards the end of the day on some news that you can look up on your own. But basically, we have looking for this fifth wave, and then or another 1-2 and get more continuation higher. We did hit the buy area exactly here. We had at 12. We had the buy here at 1290. We hit 1280 and essentially have gone vertical since that buy. Without knowing what the news was, that would drive it, the wave three. So we're in the middle of a three. This should continue to be supported, and we should just grind higher. Is the idea. We want to see that happen. That's a crypto coin. Let's see. Oil today is again. Traders are very confused with oil. I do think I am still looking for a breakdown. Silver should be continuing higher into our sell area at 32, but I would not recommend selling it because a wave 5 could turn into a wave 3 and extend, which would get you to much higher targets. So again, I don't want to be trading in and out of silver, but I just showed a chart just to give you an idea of what the most likely path is. But I wouldn't want to sell it here myself. Gold should continue higher. It looks like we made another 1-2 today as we go continue. Let's see in the dollar index finishing this wave 4. I should get this fifth wave down, or we get another extension, one or the other. And then the 10-year looks like it's finishing a wave 4 here. We should get a 5, and then a pullback, and then we should continue lower. 20-year, same thing. The VIX didn't really do anything today. Okay, so let's just go into the tech stocks. How's Apple doing? It does want to pull back in this wave 2. That should bring the market down or add pressure to the market. Amazon as well. So Amazon looking some kind of connector potentially here. Could see it go a little bit lower. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Be careful on Amazon because this wave 5 could be in, which would create a much dramatic sell-off. It may not extend. Facebook is hit the buy area. We're impulsing out. It looks like we have pretty much like a 1 2 1 2 3 4 3 4 5 1 2. So something like here, and then we should come out. So we're either in 2 or we're in a flat into. We'll have to wait and see. Tesla was frozen today. It was almost like either there wasn't a seller to be found in Tesla, every seller has disappeared, or there's a massive floor underneath of Tesla's people buying it. But the price barely moved today, almost like it wasn't even trading. We do have this nice inverse head and shoulders. It's a beautiful, ready to bust out. That's what we're hoping for. Now, if we break down, the next target in Tesla is 150, I think. Let's do the move here. That'd be 149 would be the next target here if we break down. Adobe's trying to come out in this wave 3. Again, we may have another small dip in Adobe potentially before that wave 3 moment down to 478, 477. That could be a good trade opportunity to play, see if you can get a nice wave 3 out, if we can get that dip there. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, another 1 2. Now it looks like we have our first 3 4 right here. And yeah, it looks like to me it's something like this. Should continue to extend higher. AdTech was pumping today. Trade Desk was up. How's Trade Desk doing? We're finishing this wave 5. Unless we can erase divergence to finish this first wave off the low. So you gotta be careful. When does its earnings come out? Let's see here. It already came out. We already had earnings. Yeah, you know, you didn't get a lot of pump in Trade Desk given the news on Netflix. So be careful you're not going to get trapped in a rug pull. And if you get that rug pull, that's good because that gives you a nice entry. Now that we have 5 up off the low, we have to call that low as in 2. So if this is 5, the entry in Trade Desk at some point toward the end of the year is going to be $52 if this is right. The other, of course, it could be a 1 2 1 2 and we just explode out of here tomorrow and erase divergence. But that is, I think if we didn't do it today, then it's not going to happen. But I can be wrong. Do what's best for you. And then Magnite, of course, also was in the news with the Netflix partnership. What I like about Magnite, and it's always been on my watch list, that's why I have it here. We're in a series of 1s, 2s, and it just was dead money until we got some kind of breakout of this. And again, this is actually going back, way back. I mean, this company goes way back to 2014. I think it merged with Tellurite, something like that, if I remember right. We had a 2 here, then we had a 1 2, and then Kathy Wood gave it a thumbs up, and it went like vertical when she was doing her thing back in 2020, 21, and then of course came all the way back down. So these just created a series of 1 2s, 1 2 1 2 1 2. So what if we get another vertical move? I want to be in that, and so this could be the start of that. So that's the reason for the buy alert as for long-term investment, because the target potentially, if we can come out of this, we're looking at targets of $100 and maybe higher. Could be a future mega cap stock in the making. But it's been slow going for them. They wish they could be Trade Desk. I think they talk about Trade Desk almost in a like I idolize them, but they're a different company. They're a supply side advertiser, Trade Desk's demand side. So they do something a little different than Trade Desk, but they want to grow like Trade Desk. They dream to be Trade Desk. But Trade Desk, the thing about Trade Desk is they have a high customer retention, and their CEO is like the Elon Musk of ad tech. Like he knows what he's doing. If you ever listen to him and his vision and presenting, he was talking about AI in his first year after the IPO. I think he even bought an AI, if I remember right, he bought some kind of proprietary AI technology way before AI was even in the lexicon. So he's way ahead of everybody. But he's shaping the vision. He's creating it. So he's definitely a CEO visionary for that sector, which is why it's such a high valuation and it's been doing well. It should continue to do well. Magnite wants to be like that, but what can their CEO be? You know, be that strong? We don't know yet. So far, they're doing okay, but they need to get more partnerships, and they have a different business model with the supply side advertisement, and it's yet to be seen which one's going to, dominate, but both right now kind of coexist, and we'll see if there's a piece of the TAM, total accessible market, for both of them. The reason I know a lot about ad tech fundamentally, Trade Desk was one of my first real home run stocks. And back on StockTwits before I was even on Twitter, we went long this after earnings here back when, I was not really good with money management, just YOLO'd, I think, 30,000 in this thing. And basically just got lucky on that candle. And because of that, I was able to ride the entire bull market all the way up, and a huge profit. So because of that, you get to learn about the company. As you have, that much money in a company, it forces you to, hey, I might as well read the earnings report. What the hell, right? So I know a lot about this company. It's doing pretty good, but it's high. It's a very high valuation right now, and it's got to continue to grow into that valuation. But I believe it will come out of this consolidation at some point and continue higher. Magnite could be just getting started. Now with Netflix behind it, it will be able to leverage that and gain more customers. It legitimizes their company, right? Hey, you want to do business with us, but hey, we support Netflix, right? That's a huge way to sell their service, right? So they're now like legit, like they're not going to be like the company, if you remember, Rocket Fuel. I think it was called Rocket Fuel, and when it didn't go out of business, but the stock pumped and then never came back, and that ad tech was destroyed. Which those people were actually short in Trade Desk back in the day when I was in it, and they were blown up. And one trader, I think, lost his whole account. He lost over $250,000 short in Trade Desk because he thought it was the next Rocket Fuel. And I remember he posted on Stock Twitter, he was so mad at me for like being happy about it. He said that it's just fucking ad tech. What the fuck? I don't understand. And that was his last post, is he lost everything short in Trade Desk because he assumed it was like Rocket Fuel, the company Rocket Fuel. And so what Magnite did today basically legitimized their company. I think it just said, hey, we're not Rocket Fuel. We're not going to just go to zero and be taken over and taken out of the market. We're gonna pump. I think that's what we're here. I think that's what the message is today. We'll see how this, if we can come out. As you can see here, you had a fractal, a flat, a 1-2 vertical. Again, you have a flat, a 1, 2, and can we go vertical? It's the same fractal. This is the same fractal here compared to this. It's the same thing, right? The same setup, right? The same people here, and again, I trade at Magnite. I've been trading Magnite for a long time here. The same people here were like, it's just going to do that, right? The same people here were saying that, and that was the target. They had it $2. It was going to do that, but it didn't do that. It did the same thing. So now what I expect will happen, just like what pumped it here when Kathy Wood went on TV and made it mainstream, and she said she was buying it. Some people like that are going to start buying it now. Because it's legitimate now. It's got a partnership with a 100 bill market cap, triple digit market cap company. I think Netflix is like 100 bill. It could be more. But anyway, that's how it is. That's how it is with Magnite. So that's why I say it could be an investment opportunity, right? It may not be too late. Like Trade Desk, right? You come back in Trade Desk, right? You're down here, Hayden Life. Where was it? The first crash was down here. This first crash. I'm sorry, where were we? Down here. This first crash. This. When this happened, guys, Kramer was telling you guys he hated Trade Desk. I remember. He was like, this company's, he thought it was a company. Joke. He hated it. He was bashing it. And this pump here was your long-term investment opportunity into a wave 3 grand super cycle that never looked back. So you don't know how these things play out, but now today Kramer was pumping it at 900 something a share, or $93 a share, right? Now, but down here he hated it. Everyone hated it. I followed the company. I mean, I remember everyone hated it. They thought this guy was a joke. He had the last laugh, right? So you just got to understand what's going on here, guys. So that's the chart. That's my ad tech a little bit. I also watch PubM. I don't like the chart on PubM, so I'm not convinced yet. We need to see some more upside. And then Digital Turbine, I don't really like it. I think it's like cellular advertisement for your cell phones or something. If I remember, mobile. I don't like it, but I do keep an eye on it because this will counter trend rally and have a nice pump. But I like Magnite. I do like Trade Desk, but I don't like Trade Desk here in this setup. I do like Magnite in this setup. But you have to do what's best for you. It's only a matter of time to see how we play out. I think it's safe to say with this high taken out here at 1245, Magnite should see more upside to 1453, 15, but if it is wave 3, 1850. So we should continue higher. We have more distance to go. No matter how we pull back, given this break, higher of this high. That's how I look at Magnite, guys. All right, so then let's go to the meme stocks. GameStop, guys. GameStop, broke down, right? Broke down, and so I tried to do the corrective count for you, WXY, here for a bigger W, X, and then you have a Y here. And then you have a WXY for another WXY. And then, so this is the last leg. So we are in the last leg of the correction. This is the last leg. But you need 3 legs. You need 3. So we do need a bounce soon. And we could already be getting it. The W may be in. But we need a bounce. And then that bounce should fail one more time. That's how we want to see it. That's how we want to see it. But how low it goes, I can't tell you. There's no good target area. My best guess at a target is $21, $20. That would be the equal distance of this W leg to this Y leg. It's also on the trend line, right? It's on the trend line. So that's where I would go with it. But it could go even lower. So, but I do think it's got a bounce coming soon, and then another low. Especially if the Russell is going to pull back and dump it like I was showing. That should bring this down. Do I wish that's the case? No, but that's just the way the count is. So you trade like a robot. You don't trade with hope. You don't trade with greed. You don't trade with FOMO. You trade like a robot would trade. And the robot said you stopped out of this trade at this pivot when this broke. You have to. But we'll get back in on it. We'll get back in on it. Now what happens if it just rips? Well, then we're in the X wave connector still, this connector, and a flat A, and then some kind of BC. But it would fit. But this more than likely will fail, and then we'll go lower again later. So if you're a bull, you want to get this over with. So we want this to just get this over with. If you're a bear, you want to play around more in here. Fubu, I'm sorry, not Fubu. Let's go back to AMC. Same count. We did break out. We stopped, fired here. We bounced WX one more leg lower. We could see 374. It actually could finish here, but it also risks going all the way back down to 3, closing this gap, hitting the trend line, or even lower. So we don't know exactly, but we just have to let this play out. We have to let this play out. Of course, we need the divergence to be erased on the 15. The 45, it would be nice to come oversold. That's how we want to see this. So we should see more downside. We've turned into more of like a descendant triangle here, guys, which is always a bearish continuation pattern, right? If we break down. So you got to be careful. If you're long, you got to be careful, guys. Don't be surprised if we're down here. But don't also be surprised if later in the next 12 months, we're way higher than this. It's just, this is a tough, this is requires a great trade-in skill, discipline, money management, you name it, to survive it. So this is the area to buy. Ideally, right here would be the perfect entry, I think, right here. And then in GameStop, right here. That's where I look at the perfect entry. But that's what you got to do, what's best for you. There's no guarantees. It can always go lower. And but I do think we will come out of this and break these highs in the future. Okay. So then how's Robinhood doing? Pulling back. Looks like we're 5 up. Could be pulling back to 17. And then hopefully we can come out in its own wave 3 of 3 moment. If not, we still have this target in play of 1534. This would be a great opportunity if it dumps down there. I don't think that's going to happen. Holo is another one we're looking at. We're just trying to play this wave 2 against this pivot here against 156. And we'll see if we can get a breakout of that. And not interested in any green stocks. BABA started to surge higher in wave 3. Everyone's saying, oh, I told you to buy BABA. I told you. Well, you can check my Twitter post. We called the BABA buy right here at 68. And look where we are now. And we should continue higher. Baidu found support. I gave you guys this buy area yesterday. We hit it. Essentially vertical price action off of it. And we should be going into its wave 3 moment in Baidu. Okay. NIO looks very similar to Tesla, guys. Inverse head and shoulders. Look at that. Left shoulder, head. We're forming a right shoulder. I want to come out, and I want this gain to $9. It could still drop a little lower, like I mentioned. We just don't know. But again, this really didn't move today. It's like frozen. It's like frozen. The computer said no one's trading this, or there's just massive accumulation happening that we're not seeing underneath. Just seeing a bid under it. Let's take a look at healthcare. I think Novavax pumped today. So Novavax, I did warn that wave 2 could have been done. We did not double correct. Now, I'll give a new target just in case we do drop again. It'll be 11.15. 11.15. If we do drop, this is very shallow. right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see that another move lower, something like that. Let's take a look. Um, MNRA finishing this wave 5 as long as divergence is maintained. Here, it looks like we took out this divergence, so we're still in higher degree wave 5. So we're still in that wave 5. Okay. Nothing there. Nothing in Lily. Okay, nothing. Again, I'm just looking for things that stand out to me. Let's look at discretionary. Again, Nike, you're backing into a low. Let's take a look here. We did break that low. Uh, it's painful to watch it, but I think we'll come out of this in Nike. Starbucks did have a nice drop, but I think we're in a grand super cycle correction. I want to see 57. That's the better entry that I want to play for. I don't want it here. I want it here. Lulu, looks like this wave 5 is finishing up here. We want to get it at 318, 303. That's the target. If we get, and we want bullish divergence to play that. So that's the play here in Lulu, guys. It's a tight play, 318 to 303. Now, it's got earnings at the end of the month. And if we can't do that, we could, there's a bounce here, but you got to be careful that you don't get something like this. And then earnings May 30th, it just is like that. Just got to be careful. But since the impulse is done, it can be a run in flat and be finished here. We don't know. So it's just like speculative, real speculative. How about Kava? I do want to get in on Kava if we can. If we can get a deeper pullback. So I want to keep an eye on Kava. Want to keep an eye on Kava. All right, guys. So that's it for today. Gave some updates, gave you some ad tech information, and now you get to do what's best for you in this market, and we'll go from there. All right, that's all I got.